Hi friends, I am Prairie Vintage Jewelry. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit and my intuition and the tarot in order to communicate energies to you, the viewer. We will be asking spirit what it is that you need to know or hear right now in order for you to move forward, either in your current situation, a situation that you're involved with, or this could certainly be in another area in which will help release you energetically from any sort of situation that you might be focusing on. Okay, so there is a slight difference here. You could certainly be focused on an area of your life that's holding you up, and spirit might want to align you towards what you need to focus on, or certainly could be providing advice for a current situation in which you should be working on, and take this as confirmation that your focuses are in the right area right now, because this is a timeless message, and we will ask spirit for something that you should hear right now based on you clicking on this video. So we have 3 options to choose from. If you're new to Pick a Cards, welcome. If you're new to my channel, welcome. We will have the 3 options in the timestamps, or in the description box in the timestamp below, and also in the pinned comment. So if you are drawn to more than one of these stones, then there could be multiple messages from spirit to you in different areas of your life, and that's a-okay. If you are only drawn to one, then that is obviously the message pile for you. But yeah, let's take a look at these crystals a little closer so that you can use your intuition to see which one you're closely guided towards. This is option number 1. This is clear quartz. And for option number 2, we have this geode, and I'm not quite sure what stone this is. I think it's a calcite, and it leaves a lot of little rocks everywhere, but absolutely beautiful. And for option number 3, we have this beautiful amethyst crystal. All right, so feel free to pause the video. Whichever crystal you are drawn to will most likely have your message, and I will see you at your timestamp. Hello, my beautiful pile number 1. If you pick this piece of clear quartz, absolutely beautiful, then pile number 1, we will get into your reading. Now, I've pre-shuffled these oracle cards, not looked at them at all, and we ask spirit to communicate with you, the viewer, what it is you need to hear, what message you need to understand as far as what you should focus on, or something that will help to get you to move forward in a current situation. And if you skip through the intro here, this could mean many things, but you could be focused on an area of your life that's holding you back or keeping you stuck. So spirit wants to align you maybe with another area of your life, and it could certainly still be the message for you, or spirit could provide some guidance around the situation in which you're maybe being held up in and you're not quite sure how to proceed. But this is advice on what spirit feels you should hear in order to help you move forward, period. Okay, so we'll take a look at these, and then we'll pull some tarot as well. We have the salamander. Beautiful. Just giving me heavy fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So I normally say in my videos, or at least I've started saying in my videos, use your intuition to come up with something so that you can confirm whether this is your pile or not. So an animal, a color, a word, a song, an item, an object, whatever it may be. And if you see it, then just take that as confirmation from spirit that you are in the right pile, and also to strengthen your intuition here. So we do see the salamander beautiful orangey, red, yellow colors. And like I said, if you do have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in your birth chart, then this could certainly be confirmation from Spirit that you are in tune with the right pile. Okay, I'm feeling from this card as well, and I mean, I'll do the full reading, but I'm feeling like you guys are in a situation right now that is really intense. Okay, like really, really intense is what I'm getting from this, or at least you're really wrapped up in something right now. We have the Between Worlds with the number 3. That's a flamingo with a mask or something inside. Between Worlds. Okay, and then we have number 9 here with Well-Deserved Reward. And we have the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Number 36, or the number 9 again. Interesting. Second chakra, okay. This is also giving me second chakra energies as well, okay. Number 9 again, so maybe you guys are seeing 999. Interesting. Surfacing in silence. Suffering in silence, I'm sorry. This is actually a very beautiful card. It's giving me a very peaceful type energy. I'm going to put this right over here. All right. We have New Moon in Gemini. Think it through. All these mountains. And we have Power Volcanoes with the number 9 again. You guys, we have, well, 3 is a multiple of 9, and we have 999, and then 36, which is reduced to 9 as well. Yeah, this is, wow. Okay, Power Volcanoes. This is giving me that salamander energy again. And we have this beautiful card here, which is from the Intuition Oracle. And you're to look at it, use your intuition to be guided towards what the messaging is here. But we will flip it over and see what it says. But we have a rose, all these butterflies, an angel, a lightning bolt, an axe, a helmet or knight's helmet, some flowers, pink flowers, some swords, crossed swords, which is giving me 2 of Swords energy here. Some leaves. Okay. It's like this guy's being struck with guided intuition from a greater source here in order to help transform. Okay, so what is this? This is the Traumatized with the number 44 or the number 8. Affirmation. I acknowledge that I have been traumatized, but also that I am healing. Okay. Let us pull some tarot. So Spirit, clear and concise for beautiful pile number 1. Can we get 3 cards here for pile number 1 in regards to what do they need to hear right now in order for them to move forward with themselves in this situation so they can move forward peacefully. Thank you very much, Spirit, and thank you so much, pile number 1, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy. We have the Knight of Cups. Beautiful swan. And we have the Ace of Wands, more fire energy here. The spider and all these little fireflies and lilies. Okay. And we have the Knight of Wands, more fire energy. Wow, that's giving me that salamander volcanoes type energy. Okay. Just give me a minute to fully tap into what this energy is, and then we'll talk through it and uncover what this message is all about. Okay. So what I'm really picking up from Spirit is that something has happened that you haven't been able to fully release or express yourself. And it's something that, I mean, I hope a lot of you guys haven't been or traumatized by this experience, but I do feel like it's something that maybe caught you off guard and you weren't quite sure how to express yourself or react in that moment. So you have, I don't feel you've reacted, but I feel like upon further thought, you guys are about to make a decision out of a reaction that you might have felt like you should have had at that point in time. And you're going to go and implement something I feel is maybe a little too hasty for what the situation calls for. Okay. So I feel like what Spirit's really saying is give this a little bit more time in order for you to organize your thoughts, and don't be driven out of a reactionary response every time you tap into that experience or that pain, because I feel like a lot of you guys have not released it. And Spirit is saying once you're able to not have a strong reaction to whatever this was, because for all of you guys this could be something different, you guys are going to deal with the situation in a more productive way in order for you guys to get something positive out of this situation. Because if you guys react in a way that is, it's kind of like you're fueling yourself up to act in a way that you feel you should have reacted at the time when something had happened. So maybe you're thinking, why didn't I blow up? Why was I so calm about it? Why did I not, speak my piece or tell this person exactly what it was that I was feeling at this time? And so you're kind of revving yourself up in such a way that you're kind of on this mission of, this is exactly how I'm going to deal with this now, and I am going to do exactly that, and is now building up in a way that I feel is still reactionary to the suffering and the experience that you had. And Spirit is saying, maybe take your foot off the thoughts of seeing it in a way that now you're going to bring justice to yourself and in a situation based on what the feeling was at that moment, and really sit on this and come from a different angle. Because I feel like a lot of this for some of you guys is fueled on instinct, and I feel like I'm feeling this, like it's like an anger, a jealousy, a part of you that got let down, that's like wanting to get angry about something, and yeah, like just kind of let everything out. And this is not necessarily going to help your situation. Okay, now I'm not saying don't talk about what this is, because I feel like there's two polar extremes. I feel like for some of you guys, you haven't said anything, you've been suffering in silence, thinking about, how am I going to deal with the situation? But instead of thinking about how I'm going to logically move forward and deal with this, I think you've been putting a lot of energy into how it made you feel, what it is that you want to say in order to kind of get tit for tat or make yourself feel better in that moment. But what Spirit's saying is you might feel better in that moment, but it's definitely not going to help you to move forward in a way that's going to allow yourself to reap the benefits of this situation. Because I feel like there's a learning lesson here, and this is also a pivotal point in this situation that you're in. Once you get through this piece and deal with this conflict in a way that is, I feel like the message here is dealing with this conflict in a way that's healthy will allow Spirit to know that you are conscious and aware of your healing and how to deal with situations for there to be a change and a progression in these types of situations coming into your life. The more dedicated you are to being conscious of how you react and how you, don't do what you would typically do, because in this case, what I feel is your reaction is a little bit unhealthy to this situation, but also it's keeping you in a situation, or it's keeping you in a loop of behaviors that Spirit wants you to break out of. Okay, so I'm not saying whatever the situation wasn't as bad as it was. I'm not saying that the person doesn't deserve to be chewed out. I'm not saying any of those things, okay, because certainly that person maybe deserved whatever it was that they had coming to them. But what I am saying is that in order for you to move forward, and what I mean by move forward is your own self to heal and come into your full potential, there needs to be a conscious awareness of how you're going to apply yourself in this situation differently than you would have in the past, only because however you're about to deal with this, or that you're kind of really leaning into and fueling yourself up to, is going to get you a result that isn't in your best interest. Okay, and I feel like this is kind of like take the higher ground type approach, right? And I mean, sometimes it just feels good to kind of unleash ourselves and, I don't know, get it off our chest, I guess, so to speak. But I feel like that's very temporary. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to give consideration to the long term. And this is a pivotal point for your growth in order for you to kind of shift towards this healing aspect of yourself. Okay, and maybe the first time dealing with something like this might feel awkward, or it might not feel justified or balanced because you're dealing with it in a different way. But what Spirit is saying is the more you're able to be aware of your reaction and how you generally cope with this type of a situation, will get easier the more you're enlightened and healed, that when these situations happen, it isn't going to impact you as deeply or be as hurtful. Okay, because I feel like there's something here that's going to bless you with being aware of how you're taking a higher ground, how you're transitioning into, leaning into your healing. There's something here that is going to be presented to you. Okay, so let's pull some more tarot and see if we can ask, what exactly is this reward? What is this that you're going to be blessed with if you, you'll be blessed with healing parts of your trauma, which will allow you not to be so triggered when these situations happen. And I mean to say, let's just say, for example, if someone stole from you, it's not like you're never going to be triggered, but the triggering in regards to how someone else kind of shows up, we start to understand that, how someone reacts, what somebody does, is not going to impact our energy in a way that's going to negatively cause our suffering, okay? If that makes any sense to you guys. Now, let's take a look at this and see what sort of reward here is Spirit wanting to bring to your attention. So we have the Eight of Cups. We have the Two of Pentacles. And take a look at these two cards. If there's anything here that's speaking to your intuition. We have a ship in the distance there, a tiger, the moon, some dolphins, and we also have the Lovers with the number 6, which is also 3, multiple 3, 6, all these 9s. So I feel like 9 is also talking about the end of something, coming to an end of something. So and because we have this between worlds, this is transitioning. I feel like you're right at the cusp of this type of a lesson. In order for your awareness to really be conscious of how you react, for you to break free from being stuck in some sort of a unhealthy dealings with situation. Now, we did ask about the reward here, and what I really feel Spirit is highlighting here with the Eight of Cups, it's allowing ourselves to move towards something that is more emotionally at peace and more aligned with what our heart's true desire here. And I feel like if we are focused on an area of that isn't bringing us emotional peace, so let's say we're focused on a person, a relationship, a situation that we already know has caused us pain in a way that we can't go back from, or if we engage in trying to get even or trying to somehow put more energy towards a situation that I feel is already kind of done, then what we're doing is we're removing ourselves from potentially dealing with a situation in which we could have progress, in which we could have emotional satisfaction. So I feel like what Spirit is saying is shifting your focus from engaging in something that just is not emotionally satisfying. It's causing anger, it's causing maybe fears of, I don't know. I don't really see fears. I feel like this is more like a fiery, angry, reactionary type thing, but it's still giving energy to the wrong area. Instead of unleashing, I feel like there's a need to say your piece, but calmly shift your energy, okay? Because I do feel like this situation could get a lot better, one, but whether you need to engage in this situation ever again is really up to you, but could get a lot better. But also, by shifting your energy towards something that is more fulfilling, I feel like you're opening yourself up to the blessings that Spirit wants to give you in regards to love, okay? This is like choosing our creation, or choosing a partner that is fulfilling, or making a choice here to embrace something that's going to bring us love, emotional fulfillment. And I think Spirit wants you to focus on that, because doing this reactionary thing is not allowing you to make this decision and focus on the actual love, okay, that's being offered here. Two of Pentacles is this need for balance, and with the dolphins and compassion, I feel like Spirit wants you to be compassionate, and we were seeing that Knight of Cups from a place of love, okay? It might be very difficult, but Spirit wants you to lean in on love, and leaning in on love doesn't mean accepting the thief or the person who cheated or the person who lied or the situation that, people were acting in such a way that wasn't helpful. But choosing love means saying, you know what, this is not for me, but I'm not going to blow up, or I'm not going to say mean things that I may later regret, or that's beneath me, just so I can let this off. A need for balance and come from a place of compassion and understanding. I also feel like there's a need to really understand the root of whatever this was. I feel like was not really about what you're thinking, what you're thinking in regards to it being directed at you or because of you, or although it impacted you, I'm sure it has impacted you because you are really fired up about this. But I feel like this is more about whatever this person, whatever the situation is, there's more going on here that has absolutely nothing to do with your ability to show up, or your worth, or your value. And unfortunately, these situations happen which make us feel like we're not being valued, or it compromises, puts us in a compromising position in which we, you know, maybe lower our values or our own self-worth in order to try to resolve something that we can't really resolve anyway. And then we just kind of stay in these low vibrational cycles, low vibrational experiences, and it holds us back. It keeps us in a situation that we shouldn't even really be in the first place. I feel like what Spirit wants you to do is vibrate on a higher level through love, through compassion, through understanding that emotionally engaging any more effort in this is not going to help. Yeah, it's not going to help, and it's not going to allow you to move forward towards what actually is loving, or the actual loving partner, or the actual compassion in which to give yourself in this situation, and compassion to another, knowing that they're most likely suffering, or that their actions are stemming from something that is maybe not the healthiest place, because they're going through their own traumas. Yeah. Okay, let's pull a few more cards here and see what else Spirit wants to communicate. Spirit, thank you so much for that message, for beautiful pile number 1. Anything further in regards to advice? All right, so I wanted to come out. So we have the 7 of Pentacles. More spiders and spider webs. Yeah, I definitely feel like you're in control of where this is all going here, more than you think. But this is a pivotal point in how you react, how you deal with the situation is going to build the outcome of this, and also the outcome of where you're headed towards. You have the Hierophant. And we have the 2 of Cups. Beautiful. Elephants, a lion, and a lotus flower here. Okay. So I'm feeling very strongly Spirit is really wanting you to keep your eyes on what it is that you're trying to manifest for yourself. Okay, now let's say you want to manifest for yourself happiness and love. Okay, then keep your eye on that and ask yourself, is whatever action I'm about to take going to help move me forward towards finding, you know, my loving partner? If it's no, if it's only going to cause a wedge, or it's only going to cause some sort of something, then Spirit is saying, why engage in that sort of way? Spirit wants you to engage in ways that are building security for yourself, that are building building something more secure for you. And I feel like Spirit's really saying, stick to your values, stick to your compassion, your love, what you know to believe to be something you're when I say values, like something you know that you're brought up to know better. Okay, like stick to walking the higher ground and not engaging in an area that's going to compromise where you're coming from, what you've built for yourself, what you're working towards. And investing so much energy. And even though maybe it seems like it just be one blow up or one conversation in which you're just needing to, you know, unload or whatever, it's actually going to stem into more of the same. So Spirit is saying to, you know, it's okay to communicate your piece, but at the same time, what's it worth? And to shift your energies towards something that will provide your security, that does align with your values. And I feel like there is harmony to be had. We saw the Lovers, we see this Two of Cups. So maybe there was a partnership here or a relationship or something here that isn't going very well. And Spirit wants to bring you back to love. Spirit wants to bring you back to compassion towards somebody. Spirit wants you to focus on an area that is going to be bringing you love and where you're able to safely give love. So if this isn't safely giving love in order to receive love, then don't focus on it. Only focus on where you can be confident to give out love, to receive love. And this might take some building and some commitments from yourself in order to build on that. But this is definitely the first step in shifting your energy, because I feel like you're engaged in situations here that are draining, that aren't emotionally fulfilling, that are bringing out a side of you that maybe you're not too proud about because you might be stooping down to someone else's level. But I feel like you are about to embark on more of the same type of energy, and it's just intensifying and not getting any better if you keep following down that road. Okay. And I mean, if this is a lesson that you need to learn, then so be it, because there's nothing you can really do wrong. But at the end of this blow up, at the end of handling it however you're about to handle it, or fueled up to action, just keep in mind, what was the result? Did it help? And did it put you again in a position that you've done in the past in order for you to keep experiencing the same thing? What has helped? What has progressed? Are you closer to sharing love? Are you closer to having this reciprocated love, compassion? Or are you stuck in a cycle in which feels like it's progressing, but it's not really moving forward? Okay, because this might have a short-lived reaction, a short-lived solution, a short-lived something, but I feel like things will eventually fall back to the same. All right, so I hope this helped. This is an interesting reading. Beautiful pile number 1. If you're drawn to any other pile, I will see you there. If not, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon, and best of luck in this situation. Keep an open mind, and yeah, just act out of peace, love, and in truth. All right, see you. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 2. If you pick this beautiful stone right here, then pile number 2, this is your reading. Now, I did pre-shuffle the oracle cards. I've not looked at them. We'll look at them together, and we ask Spirit, what is it that you need to hear right now in order for you to move forward with yourself? Okay, so it could be in regards to a certain situation that you're trying to resolve here, and Spirit has some guidance around this that will help progress that specific situation. Or it could be in regards to something going on that you should be focusing on in order to shift away from something that maybe you are giving too much attention, and you need to realign yourself in order for your energy to move forward, for you to heal, move forward, and not be stuck in a situation that maybe you feel you're trying to resolve and giving a lot of attention to. Okay, so this is a timeless reading. Whenever you found it, Spirit wanted you to hear this message. And if you were drawn to another pile, could be different various parts of your life in which Spirit is wanting to communicate to you. Okay, so let's take a look. If you see anything here that yeah, like pick an animal, an object, food, a word, a color, something that's going to confirm your intuition that this is indeed your pile. This will help to strengthen your intuition. So yeah, if you want to come up with something, then this way it'll just be further confirmation that this is indeed your pile and message from Spirit. So we have oak with the acorns. Very beautiful art on this card. Oak. Okay. And we have breathe with the number 29 or the number 11. Breathe. Okay. We have the number 4 with open up. Very peaceful cards I'm getting. Oh, not with this one. Number 18 with anxiety. Okay. Or the number 9. Anxiety. Okay. Number 5 with emotional loss. Move that over here. And we have last quarter moon in Virgo. Attend to the details. And number 25, or the number 7, we have speaking your word with voice. And the intuition oracle, we got this card right here. Very interesting. So you're to use your intuition as to what messages you're getting from this card here. There's a lot of imagery on this card, so you might want to focus in. But what it says is it is the Emperor with the number 22 or the number 4, and we got 4 here as well. Affirmation, I am worthy of respect because I am respectful of all. Okay. Now let's pull some tarot. We'll ask Spirit for clear and concise message for beautiful pile number 2 in regards to what do they need to hear right now in order to help move them forward in this situation or move forward with themselves. Thank you, Spirit. And thank you so much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy. What else do we need to hear? All right. So we have strength with the number 8 in the tarot. Wow, lots of imagery on this one too. Some poppies, a heart, a cobra, a rat, some mushrooms, the moon, some clouds, some stars. Wow, just about everything in this one. Okay. The sun. Wow. Number 19 or the number 10. The sun. And the Knight of Wands. Looks like a badger of sorts. Okay, so let us read this one because this is the kicker card here. I have a feeling there's a message that we shouldn't overlook, and then we will get into your reading. So oak, we have oak. All right. The mighty and tall oak emerges from a tiny acorn. The oak is seen as a symbol of strength, honor, knowledge, divination, and longevity, and is associated with many deities, including Zeus, Dagda, and Thor, to just name a few. Perhaps it is because of these deities that the oak has a reputation for being prone to lightning strikes. The face of the enigmatic green man is often made from oak leaves. The oak grows with slow and steady progress, which results in its wood being strong and durable. Messages: stand your ground and be proud. What you are putting your energy and belief into is worthwhile and honorable. Progress may be hard to see in the present, but the future will reveal the significant impact of your efforts. Don't overlook the little details because they seem unimportant or commonplace. Those details could become larger obstacles or issues very quickly. There is a doorway or an opportunity right in front of you that you haven't discovered yet. Relax your mind and allow your vision to blur, and it will become apparent. Okay, allow your vision to blur because you're seeing something. Okay, this is all very, 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 very connected here and coming through. Attend to the details. Very strong message coming through with that oak that we read here in order to deal with something here. Okay, the sun is needing clarity, seeing things clearly, having the courage to do so. You might be really held back due to anxiety, and spirit is really wanting you to, I mean, it's easier said than done to relax here, but maybe you are engaged with the worst case scenario or something in this situation, which doesn't necessarily matter. Okay, it doesn't matter as much because something is being overlooked, and you could very well be so enthralled in what could go wrong or what has gone wrong in the past that is keeping you stuck, held back, and you're not quite seeing something clearly here that is absolute blessing. And I feel like for a lot of you guys too, you could very well be, I'm getting this feeling, how do I explain this, spirit? There's this feeling of you might be covering up and you're covering up and going with the flow of something here. But it's almost like someone who's really nonchalant in action, but inside is wanting to or knowing that there needs to be, I don't know, a further progress made or a communication or something here that needs to come out, but would rather stay in peaceful place to keep the peace. Would rather not address something here and focus on the lighter side of things, or focus on something that they have more control over, so they just kind of turn a blind eye in putting themselves out there or being more vulnerable or opening up in a situation because of the anxiety or the fear that if they do, something may go wrong, or if they do speak their piece, then it leaves them vulnerable here. But spirit is really emphasizing here that there is something happening here that is a blessing that you need to get. I mean, I say you need to, you could do what you'd like to do, but what spirit is saying is by you not really being in your true, authentic, natural self to bring up something that maybe you're feeling inside, to really address the areas in which should get addressed with these attend to the little things, you're not really having a full understanding of what's going on the flip side. Okay, and on the flip side, meaning how is someone else's reception to how you are behaving or what your actions are actually telling them. Because if you are coming in like somebody who isn't really showing that you care all about the details or about these things, or care to have the communication and speaking your piece, or trusting enough to open up and deal with the situation, then you could certainly be missing the fact that there is maybe someone in this situation on the other end receiving this as you're not engaged. You don't really care. There really isn't, this isn't your priority. This isn't your focus. This is something that you're not really engaged with. Okay. And I feel like this is something that you are really engaged with. And I feel like there's Spirit is wanting to highlight to you, to bring to your attention here, that maybe you're not even aware of subconsciously, that you're really having anxiety around maybe exposing yourself to a loss, a potential loss. And so maybe you're acting out of fear of experiencing a loss. Okay, but Spirit is saying the best way to deal with the situation, in order for things to progress and move forward, there needs to be trust, courage, just breathe, open up, allow yourself to speak your truth, attend to the little things as they come up. Okay, so it doesn't have to be everything kind of all at once, but these little things as they come up, and we're addressing them. We're not turning a blind eye. We're not pretending or dismissing or not engaging, even though we see it, but we're trying to shift our energy in such a way that we feel maybe we're having more control over ourselves, over the situation as a whole. Spirit saying, no, this is causing an opposite effect overall, in an area that there is blessings, in an area that could be very strong, in an area that could be built up. They're almost creating your own vision of what could go wrong by acting in a way that allows things to go wrong. Okay, because tending to things as they come up and using our voice, we are preventing these worst case scenarios from happening that you're feeling this anxiety about anyway. So I feel like maybe this is done because if we didn't really put in our all, then we feel better about a situation maybe that didn't quite work out. Or if something fails, then it's, well, I wasn't really fully engaged, or I didn't really fully go with my whole heart or my whole conviction here. So it becomes a little bit easier to accept the defeat or the failure in some way. But I feel like the pain here in not allowing yourself to fully enjoy and having this anxiety and already experiencing this loss, this is something you're not needing to experience here. There's an emphasis on it, being able to relax and enjoy, and allowing yourself to open up in a way that trusts yourself to deal with the situation here, and trust yourself that if something were to fail and not go right, that you have the strength to deal with that, because this is how we heal and this is how we become stronger. So there could be a way of you being unconscious of why you're doing this and not aware that you are doing this. But I feel like there's an emphasis on, are you speaking your full truth here? What it is that you're really feeling and thinking. Are you really opening up here, or are you acting in a way that's guarded so that you're not gonna expose yourself to something here? And I feel like there's true beauty to be had in enjoyment, but I feel like you can't fully enjoy yourself. You can't fully partake in enjoying the full nature of this, because there is this energy of self-sabotage in some sort of way. So let's see if we could see some more here with the tarot. We'll ask Spirit for more information. Spirit, thank you so much for that clear and concise message for beautiful pile number 2. Is there more information for pile number 2 that will help them? Thank you. What more do they need to know? Now, you might not even be conscious of this, or this could certainly be just like a coping type mechanism here. Or maybe you are aware of it and you're not quite sure how to do this, if this is your way of being or if this has been a way that you've been. But because we were asking about moving yourself forward, I feel like this is not necessarily moving yourself forward in this situation, although it certainly will help. I feel like this is moving yourself forward in life as a whole, because I feel like there's this recognition that needs to come up in order for you to really look within and see why it is we're reacting in a way that we're reacting, and ask ourselves those questions and be completely honest with ourselves. We have the Page of Swords. It looks like a ferret or a weasel of sorts. Page of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Three of Pentacles. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles is totally giving me this attend to the details. This is working with others, putting in the effort, energy, attention, focusing on what we need to make happen here, putting in effort. I feel like with this one, there's these wolves kind of circling this buck. I feel like you're potentially subconsciously or maybe aware of the fact that if you were to engage and come together and collaborate with putting yourself out there in a situation, if things were, like you're vulnerable now to the attack, or if things were to go wrong, it's like you put yourself out there, and you might not want to experience that feeling, okay? But what Spirit is saying is with this Ace of Cups, this is like full emotional fulfillment for self. This is filling one's cup up in order to fully embrace and enjoy and experience what love has to offer, okay? Seeing the sun again, we saw the sun, the tarot, this is joy, this is clarity around how we can love ourselves and accept and be in our solid state of self-love in order for us to be okay with putting forward an energy and an effort that if things were to not work out, to love ourselves enough to not feel like it's a reflection of our worth, okay? Because sometimes things don't work out just for the sake that they don't. But there needs to be a realization that if we're not allowing ourselves to risk finding out, we risk not having a full potential of joy. Moon and sun, I feel like there's a need to balance masculine and feminine energies, and because we're seeing the sun twice, I feel like there's this masculine energy coming through that's asking you to embrace your feminine, which is receiving love, being able to open up to love, being receptive to love. And maybe you've been more confrontational or not putting in the energy and effort where you might make an impact here. I feel like with this Page of Swords also in this voice, there's a need to have a conversation here. And there's something that you need to communicate. I mean, I say need to. I feel like you feel like there's something here that you want to communicate that you haven't communicated that I feel needs to be expressed. And you know what this is about. So I think what Spirit wants you to do is have an honest communication here, although it may feel challenging to challenge yourself to have this communication in order for there to be cooperation. And if you might, feel like you're vulnerable or that you're being thrown out to the wolves, so to speak, Spirit is telling me that in this situation here, this is more of an anxiety and a fear than it is the reality of a situation. And to really use your courage. We were seeing the strength here, and with this Emperor again, this is divine masculine energy. Like I said, the sun, I feel like maybe ego could be more in play than maybe you realize or recognize here. Okay, but there is a beauty and a strength in this situation that could result, but I also feel like you're putting things at risk here that you might not be fully aware of, because there's only so much of this type of an energy of holding back and not really tending to these things where the recipient may feel like you're not as engaged, or it's not as important, or if there's communication that you're not having, then someone's not going to know how it is that you're feeling exactly about a situation. And maybe it's having the communication about this and having the because I do see this tend to the details. I feel like this is like step-by-step type stuff. Same with this Eight of Pentacles. Although it is putting in energy and effort, it could be like a step-by-step approach. And maybe there's some fear around just being completely out there. Almost like you have to do everything or nothing. But I feel like Spirit is highlighting that there could be a step-by-step approach in dealing with just the details, starting with the conversation of, I want to focus on this area, or, you know, just taking these step-by-step approach rather than a complete jump forward might help you. And the communication will allow whoever you're trying to work with here understand where you're coming from. But I feel like if you're not communicating, if you're stoic, if you're more engaged in non-doing because of a fear of something that might go wrong, then the other side might not really understand where your actions are coming from. Okay, and you might not even be fully aware of this. So just be really completely open and honest with yourself in regards to why it is that you are behaving in such a way or not communicating. So we'll ask Spirit for some more, some guidance here for beautiful pile number 2. Spirit, can we get some guidance here for pile number 2 in this situation? What do they need to hear that will help them to move forward right now? Thank you. Not feeling that one. All right. So we have the Page of Cups. This is also communication. So there's something to be communicated. We saw the Ace of Cups. Now we're seeing the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is, you know, opening ourselves up. Initial stages of opening ourselves up to our emotions, or speaking our piece and being truthful about an emotion, or how we're the stirrings of the heart here with this Page of Cups. Okay. We see the Ten of Pentacles, more bumblebees. Ten of Pentacles is stability. This is giving me this oak. I feel like there's a great stability and abundance to be had here. And it's something that needs to be worked on. I don't feel like this is something overnight. So maybe there's an anxiety about something needing to happen all at once, or that maybe you feel like in a situation in which you can't be a full Ten of Pentacles is giving you a fear of anxiety, or like you're coming in failing before you even got started. But I feel like the message here is, in order for you to build this Ten of Pentacles, we were seeing the Three of Pentacles, which was coming together to work together, to put ourselves out, be vulnerable, and having a communication about what that looks like. Eight of Pentacles is putting in that energy and effort and focusing on the details in order to build on this stability, this long-term stability. Okay, this is a long-term legacy and something that would stand the test of time here, which I feel maybe is your fear, something failing. But I feel this is confirmation from Spirit that there's something to be built here that is very solid with the oak and the Ten of Pentacles. This is something very, very solid, very stable, and very promising, very fruitful, very abundant. Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords isn't afraid to face a challenge, no matter how. Yeah, this is someone who speaks with conviction, who goes in, who fights for what it is that they believe in strongly. And I feel like you're wanting to drive in towards something that you believe in, but you might feel like it could be turbulent. Maybe there's some fear around it, but there's definitely some guidance from Spirit to face this head on, like this Knight of Swords, and face your courage, but also know that you are able to do this in a step-by-step type approach. And this breathe, I mean, all you really need to do is trust in yourself to handle the situation, rather than maybe focusing on what you think could potentially be something that would be a loss. Okay, so I hope this helps you guys. Beautiful pile number 2. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 3. If you picked this beautiful amethyst crystal, then pile number 3, this is your reading. Now, I did pre-shuffle the oracle cards. Have not looked at them. We'll look at them together, and we'll also pull some tarot. And we asked Spirit, what message are you needing to hear right now that's going to help you to move forward? Now, it could be moving forward in a specific situation in which you feel stuck and you're needing some advice, if that's what Spirit brings up. Or it could be Spirit bringing up to your attention something you need to focus on in order for you to shift your energy so that you're not stuck in a situation here that you might feel like you're stuck. Okay, so certainly whatever Spirit is wanting to highlight here in regards to energies is going to help you to move forward, either in the situation or just progress you as a whole in order to move forward, which will, indeed help you with any situation that you might be going through once you're able to see things from a different perspective. Now, use your intuition to maybe come up with an animal, an object, a word. It could be a song, a color, whatever it is that may come up during this reading in order for you to have confirmation from Spirit that this is indeed your pile, okay? Because it's a way to strengthen your intuition and then to get confirmation that there is a message here for you. All right, so we have the mugwort. We have enchanting gifts with the number 27 or the number 9. Very feminine. All right, and we have building blocks with the number 28 or the number 10. Building blocks, exchanging gifts. We have the number 1 here with clarity of belief. We have number 52 or the number 7 with goddess of the moon, more feminine energy. We have patience and planning with the number 7. And we have unleash your kindest self with the first quarter moon in Capricorn. And we have the number 20 here with endurance rock. Wow. And we have the intuition oracle card here, which you're supposed to use your intuition to get whatever messages you are intuitively seeing in this card. We'll flip it over and get the meaning, but looks like a queen with some butterfly wings here and a parrot. A lot of butterflies. The sovereign with the number 43 or the number 7. Affirmation, I am my authentic self and no one has dominion over me. Wow, okay. Now, let's pull some tarot. And we'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for beautiful pile number 3. Thank you so much, Spirit. What does pile number 3 need to hear right now in order for them to move forward in their current situation? Where do they need to shift their energy and their focus? And thank you so much, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Pull 2 more. Clear and concise, Spirit, for beautiful pile number 3. We have the 3 of Cups. Beautiful. And 1 more. We have the 8 of Wands. Okay. Let me pick up this energy. Okay, I feel like you're holding back in a situation, um, or at least you're thinking that maybe there's something in a situation here that could be, it could be not good, or there's fear around not necessarily knowing if something is good for you or not good for you. So is this person trustworthy? Is this situation something that's going to blow up in my face? Is this, a job that I can take? Is this going to be a poor decision if I go down this road? Is this something that is for me or against me? Is kind of what I'm picking up here. And I feel like what Spirit is wanting you to embrace here is the fact that this experience in this situation is allowing you to build something. Okay, build something for future that's going to be fairly beneficial for you. Now, if you are going to experience maybe something that might feel awkward in the moment, Spirit is highlighting that this is something that's going to allow you to endure and something that's going to push you to grow individually and to help this situation in ways in which it needs for it to become stronger and better. Okay, because there's a beauty here that you're building, and there's a beauty here that you're able to pour into a situation. But I feel like you're not sold yet, or you're not quite sure yet whether to pour yourself forward into the situation, because you aren't quite sure again whether this is something that's positive or is this something that is not for your best interest. Like, you have some doubt here, and Spirit really wants to highlight that although you may experience something that, like I said, could be make you uncomfortable in some sort of way. Now, I'm not talking about putting up with toxicity, okay? But sometimes we deal with painful situations, painful personalities, experiences in which we might not necessarily choose for ourselves. But in order for us to grow in a situation, be it a partnership, a romantic relationship, a job, right? Like, I'll use a job for example because this is the easiest. It's like if we got our dream job of what we've been working towards, and then the first 6 months are really challenging because we don't know the processes, we don't know that employer's best practices, we don't know who all the people are, we're not really fully set up maybe technically, we're dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. It's kind of like the learning curve of that employment. And if we were to just give up and say, oh, this job isn't for me, because if it's going to be like this, then I'm not completely happy, then you never get to the state in which you can get comfortable in that job, where now you're rewarded with, with the salary, with the enjoyment of doing your dream job. But there's a period of time here, I feel, that is like a growing pain, or where you're strengthening this situation, where you're strengthening yourself to endure something here that will be beneficial. And like I said, this isn't putting up with something toxic. This isn't putting up with something in which you're feeling is wrong. This is putting up with an uncomfortable growing period and trusting that your guidance and that your ability to get through will result in something on the other side. Because I think there's a lot of question mark around what is on the other side here. Is this something beneficial to you? So you're kind of held back, and maybe you're not in your full outpouring, loving self. Okay, so Spirit's saying practice patience and planning here, because I feel like be patient with yourself, be patient with this learning experience. Obviously, not only with yourself, but maybe if you are dealing with groups of people or another person in which you're having to establish the foundation of a connection, if you're having to have a learning experience in a situation, then if you're not fully allowing yourself to be your kindest self and dedicating your time and your energy to learning what it is, you'll be held back in a way and robbing the situation of its full potential, right? We'll go back to that job example. If you don't fully commit yourself to learning the way in which that employer or that corporation or whatever, however they're set up, and you never care to put in the energy and the time to learn it, you're going to be in a position in which you're unable to maintain employment there, because you'll never get past, maybe the probation period, because you're not showing the dedication, determination to really allow yourself to embrace what needs to happen in order for things to happen. So I feel like you're not fully embracing what needs to happen here out of a fear of maybe this not being the right thing. And I don't know if you're questioning it not being the right thing, or maybe there's just a suspicion here, but Spirit is saying you have this way to get through this, and in order for you to receive beauty, you kind of need to outpour beauty as well. And I feel like intuitively you most likely already know here. And yeah, I feel like Spirit wants you to go in fully as your authentic self. And I feel like there's confirmation here that there is something to be built, something very stable, long term. This is giving me very long term with the tree, endurance, rock, 10 of Pentacles. This is solid, stable, very sturdy growth. Okay. But there needs to be a genuine celebration of allowing yourself to believe in your ability to move forward without holding back, with exchanging gifts. This 3 of Cups is celebration, going out. I mean, you never go out, well, I shouldn't say never, but generally when you're going out to celebrate something, you're not going out saying, I'm going to go out there to be my miserable self and hold back and not engage with my friends. I'm going out to have a good time. I mean, whether it turns into a bad time or not, we don't know, but you go out with the intention of celebrating, seeing your friends, having a good time. You're not holding back, waiting in order to have that good time. You're just allowing yourself to have a good time, and things kind of unfold. This is the same situation that I'm picking up here. It's like there's this situation, could be like I said, a workplace, a network of people, could be a partnership, a relationship, something here in which Spirit is calling you to push yourself outside of your comfort zone without knowing what the reward may be, without knowing whether this is something that is going to be beneficial or not, or, like, is this the job that you're going to retire at? Because if it's not, then you're not wanting to learn their system, or you're not wanting to get involved and engaged. But Spirit is saying whatever lessons you're learning here will be carried on forward towards your next experience. So there's really nothing to be lost here and everything to be gained. I am my authentic self and no one has dominion over me. Yeah, because maybe we feel like if we were to commit ourselves or give ourselves to a situation here fully and it not be reciprocated, or someone coming from the other side, or that employer not having our best interest, and we feel like we were robbed, or we were gypped, or we were the ones that committed and took a risk. And I feel like Spirit is saying that's fine, because you are also the one that's going to reap the benefit and the reward of this. Remove whatever situation or other person is involved, or whatever situation is on the receiving end of you coming out in your best self. Understand that you're going to have a full experience here that's going to allow yourself to build on a foundation, but to be your authentic, true self, and move as quickly as you need to communicate exactly whatever is on your mind. If this means travel, if this means communicate, if this means be very abrupt, be abrupt, obviously be kind and be acting in your authentic self. But what I'm really getting from this is if you move slow, if you're hesitant, if you're not Like, this is being patient with yourself, and make sure that you're planning before you just go guns a-blazing without thinking. But if you feel like you are in a position in which you have already reached a state where you're comfortable with your own ability to move forward, regardless of getting in your own head about what about the other side, and what if I can't trust that, that other side to produce or reflect or support my my efforts. Because at the end of the day, you'll know once you move forward here with your efforts, with your dedication, if this is being reciprocated or not. And like I said, when I said, if you got to move, because this could talk about travel. So you say, well, I'm not going to move, and then all of a sudden things don't work out. I'm really feeling from Spirit is by moving the energy and trusting yourself in Spirit in something that you feel confident about, Spirit will not let you down. Okay, so if it turns out that you're moving for an employer and it doesn't work out, I can tell you right here what I'm feeling from Spirit is that by doing this and shifting the energy, you will then find an employer that takes you, or you will then change the energy in a way that the next thing in your life is to happen in order for you to really build on that foundation. Okay, so it's not a bad move. Because if it's not with that employer, or if it's not with that person, or if it's not the end result with that exact situation, there is more that you're building here in order to give yourself this gift. So let's see what more Spirit wants to communicate in regards to this situation. Spirit, can we know some more for beautiful pile number 3? What more can help them in this situation? What do they need to know in order to move forward with their energy? Thank you. Clear and concise. All right. So we have the 6 of Cups. Oh, beautiful energy. This is loving energy. Okay, this is nostalgic energy. This is genuine, authentic. Something that pulls at our heartstrings from maybe something we loved when we were younger. This is soul love, soul family. Beautiful. And we have the King of Swords. King of Swords in your truth, in your power of communication, clarity, understanding. And the Ace of Pentacles. This is planting the seed. Okay. A new beginning in manifesting something, grounding something here. I feel like for some of you guys, maybe you're at a state where you're waiting for something to happen, or to prove to itself, or to make you feel confident, 100% certain of something before planting the seed, or 100% certain before moving forward. But I feel like what we're seeing here with the Goddess of the Moon, a part of you already knows, because I feel like there's a natural loving peace here where I feel like it's bringing solitude to you in order to move forward, that all you need to know is what your own truth is, that you're being honest with yourself, that you've done enough of your own understanding here in order for you to plant the seed for things to move forward. You could be asking yourself the wrong questions here, like more focused and leaning in on what the other person's doing, what the employer's thinking, what this, like all the stuff that kind of gets loud and is preventing you from moving forward, which is unnecessary here. Because I feel like as long as you're acting in your own truth towards what it is that feels right for you, and you have clarity of your own decisions, this is going to transform your life and your situation in a way that's going to help you to build yourself up. Okay, it's only going to move up from here for yourself. I feel like this beautiful energy is coming in once you're able to really allow yourself to embrace your choice, embrace a true authentic choice here. Okay, even though I'm not seeing anything about choice, but I feel like the decision to plant the seed, the decision to move forward, the decision to be clear and have an understanding that things might not be 100% clear, but I will trust my intuition. I will trust my heart. I will trust what it is that I feel is right, and not allow anything else to hold me back or anything else to really make the decision for me, unless it outright comes out and does not work. Okay, not taking every little sign as a confirmation that something's not working. Okay, let's pull some advice here before we wrap up from Spirit. So Spirit, can we get some advice here for beautiful pile number 3? Some advice, how they can move forward here. Some advice pile number 3 needs to hear. Thank you so much, Spirit. You're so blessed. Thank you. All right, quite a bit. So we have the King of Swords coming out again. So this is, you know, one's truth. The King of Swords is very logical. So as long as you're using logic and understanding, then I feel like what Spirit is saying is trust that. Trust yourself. Trust your logic. Trust your homework. You know, if you've researched this employer and you were committed and you took the job, now trust your decision to, you know, to move forward, rather than getting maybe lost in your own head about, you know, whether this is right or wrong. Same with the situation. Maybe you had one understanding and now you're questioning whether the intentions on the other end are true or not. So it's kind of limiting you from moving forward. This is showing up, putting in the energy. This is also work. So we are using a lot of work references. So this could very well be taking on a new job, putting in the time, the energy, the effort, the dedication, the focus, the commitment, staying dedicated to something here and really showing up. It's not I'll only show up if I know for sure that there's something. This is I'm going to make that effort to have something move forward. And that's why we're seeing that Ace of Pentacles. It's planting that first seed in putting in this energy and this effort for things to actually manifest here. Things you could build upon. Okay? Because I feel like, yeah, things you can build upon. I feel like in this situation, maybe why there might be a hang up, or maybe things moving slow, or maybe things not moving, or you're not quite sure, so you're stalled out. I feel like you're needing to start with that Ace of Pentacles, put in the energy in order for things to then start moving forward. Knight of Wands, moving forward. Okay, this is passion, moving forward, having the desire and the optimism and the creativity to come up with what does putting energy towards the situation look like. Okay, the Knight of Wands doesn't say I'm going to look at what everyone else is doing. It's someone who's going to optimize a situation by moving forward and taking the full reward of a situation in which they were able to move forward, maybe where everyone else was kind of standoffish or unsure or not moving. He's going to come in and do what needs to be done in order to get what it is that he wants here. Okay, and Two of Pentacles is a balancing act here, and I feel like that was kind of that energy I was feeling. I'm not sure, you know, what does the other side bring? I'm not quite sure, going back and forth, weighing options here. And because we're asking about advice, I feel like what Spirit is saying is once you've weighed out what, you know, what it is that you want to do, without saying, what's this other side going to do, or getting lost in your own head. It's like, what is it that I feel I want to do here? Let me pick and choose that option. Yeah, I was talking about options. This is about options. Let me pick that option, whatever I weight to be what it is that I want. Move in and take the full reward of me moving in, capitalizing on this experience, this opportunity, this desire, and not be, you know, not be afraid to put in the energy, not shy away from putting my own dedication, because you have a knowing that you trust your intuition, you trust your homework, you trust your knowledge, you trust what you've seen in order to do this. You're not second guessing, you're not getting lost in your own head. Okay, and this will allow there to be beautiful gifts. And these gifts are very rewarding. This is building on your endurance. This is building on your future. This is building blocks for future. I feel like you're really allowing something very beautiful to happen here. And just be patient with yourself. Be patient with the situation. You know, at one sign of something going a little rough doesn't mean it's all over, or that you're like, oh, I knew this person had bad intentions, or that this was a bad idea. Because I feel there's going to be challenges, but be patient. Okay, and challenges are different than putting up, again, like I said, with a toxic situation or a toxic employer or something that doesn't feel good. It might feel awkward, but don't confuse it with it being something that you can't work with, or something you can't learn from, or something that isn't going to allow you to really be strong. And I feel it's in this situation, but it could certainly be an experience that will allow you to progress in other areas as well. Okay, so I hope this helped. And if you're drawn to another pile, feel free to visit me there. And if not, I will see you again. Bye.